Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Costa Book Awards. The Costa Book Awards have announced their shortlist recently, and I've decided that I'm going to read some of those in the month of December. The Costa Book Awards is one of the UK's most popular book awards. It's been running since 1971, and the prize has 5 main categories. There is first novel, novel, biography, poetry and children's book, and then one of the books that are in those categories will then ultimately win the Costa's overall winner for the year. This year's shortlist has been announced, and I decided to have a look through the categories to see if I was interested in any of them, and in fact I'm quite interested in both the first novel and novel categories, so those are the two that I'm going to try and read and decide which is my favourite, hopefully in time before they actually announce the winners. So today I'm just going to tell you the books that I'm going to be reading, and then I will be doing a follow-up video in a couple of weeks' time to let you know my thoughts on these books with reviews on all of them. The first book that is on the list is in the first novel category, are Pieces of Me by Natalie Hart, which is actually a book I was recently sent by the publishers, which I'm really thankful for. It's about a woman and her partner, and they're both involved in the war in different ways. She didn't go looking for love, but she's met him, and then she comes and moves back, and I think is working with refugees. When he comes back from the war, he is totally changed, and it's looking at that. There is An Unremarkable Body by Elisa Lodato. This says when Catherine is found dead at the foot of the stairs, it's the mystery of her life that consumes her daughter Laura. The medical examiner's report, in which precious parts of Catherine's body are weighed and categorised, motivates Laura to write her own version of events, to bear witness to the unbearable blank space between each itemised entry. So that sounds like it's going to be an interesting one. There's The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, which I actually own as well, and this is about Evelyn Hardcastle. She is murdered over and over again, and each time this cycle begins, she's trying to find the killer in order to, you know, stop this sort of Groundhog Day. I've heard great things about that. And finally, Meet Me at the Museum by Anne Youngson. This one says it's about Tina Hopgood, who writes a letter of regret to a man she's never met, and she doesn't expect a reply. And it's Anders Larsson, who is a lonely museum curator who she writes to, and I believe it's a correspondence between there's a sort of archaeology and the love of the natural world. It sounds like a really good book about these two characters writing letters, and then all of a sudden Tina's letters suddenly stop coming, and it's about this decision that this man makes, whether he's going to try and find out where she's gone. And then, as I said, the other category that I'm going to be looking at is the Costa Novel Award. First on that list is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. I've got that book ready to read. This is a retelling of the Trojan War, sort of told from the female perspective and looking at what happened to the women. I've heard mixed things, but I'm looking forward to it. There is The Italian Teacher by Tom Rachman. This is set in Rome in 1955. At a Roman palazzo there is a party, everyone crowds in. There's a modern artist who's legendary for his behaviour and his sexualised paintings, and the story we follow is not this painter's but the life of his son, so that sounds interesting. Oh, there's Normal People by Sally Rooney, which everyone is raving about. I have not heard a bad thing, so I definitely want to read that. This is about Connell and Marianne, who grew up in the same small town in rural Ireland, and it follows their life, I believe, and their relationship. And then finally we've got From a Low and Quiet Sea by Donald Ryan. This is a book which talks about refugees and is set in Syria, and again one that I hadn't heard of, but I'm looking forward to trying. So I'm really looking forward to trying all of these. Have you read any of them? Any of these that you would say you would pick for your top for this category? Keep an eye out for my update video in a couple of weeks' time, telling you my thoughts on all of these books and which ones I think should win each of those categories. Anyway, that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.